Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So July is finally here, which means we get 50% off Criterion Collection titles, which I am just always so thrilled about because Criterion Collection is one of my favorite boutique labels out there. They were kind of the OG for me. It's really when I started collecting movies back in whatever it was, 2009-ish. Criterion Collection was kind of the main one for me that I collected from in terms of known boutique labels. And so ever since then, I have been adding Criterion Collection movies to my physical media collection, and I do it every July, every November, and then all of those flash sales in between. So paying $20 for a Criterion Blu-ray is a lot more enticing to me than paying $40. So no matter what, I always tend to wait for sales. So that's what this month is all about, is stocking up on some of these awesome Criterion Collection titles that I've been wanting for either a long time or ones that have been released since last November. So that's what I ended up doing. Typically, I will hit Barnes & Noble for these, which I did. There are a few of these releases here I did pick up from Barnes & Noble, but I was actually on vacation when this sale started, and so I placed my main order right through Amazon because I know that the shipping's free with my Prime and it would get here quicker. So I actually placed the bulk of my order on Amazon, which of course is price matching the 50% off. So it didn't really matter which route to go. I still got my Criterion Collection movies for an excellent price. And I will mention that the discount does not work in Barnes & Noble if you have the membership card. Unfortunately, it worked last July, but then for whatever reason, they decided to cut it off in November. So it doesn't work again this July, which is really disappointing, but it is what it is. So with all of that said, I have 9 releases that I ended up picking up here from Criterion. And so I am really excited to share with you guys what I grabbed and talk a little bit about why I picked them up. I will mention that I would have loved to go and grab even more, but I am staring across the room for me at 4 different piles of stuff that I ended up finding on my, what I'm calling my media vacation. And so I had to limit myself a little bit. And the best part of July is that my birthday is at the end of the month. And so typically I will tell my my wife and my family, if they're looking to get me anything, to buy me Barnes & Noble gift cards. And then, of course, I go and buy some Criterion movies with them. Last year, my wife hooked me up, so I was able to do even more than I anticipated with the Criterion Collection sale. I'm hoping she does so again this year because, of course, there are a handful of other ones that I want. I would love to be able to get the Bergman set. I still haven't been able to grab that one yet, so that one is kind of top of the list here. But these ones are still some awesome releases, so I'm really excited about them. So let's not waste any more time, guys. If you are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. That really does help me out. But with all of that said, let's dive right in to my 50% off Criterion Collection haul. So for no good reason, I decided to put these in spine order. So the lowest spine number to the highest spine number is what we'll talk about here. So the first one is Blue is the Warmest Color. So this is from 2013 and it is directed by Adelatif Kashiki. I apologize, I'm butchering that. You can see the name right there. But this is actually an adaptation of a graphic novel that I've heard excellent things about. And so this is one that I've been wanting to see for a long time. This is basically a high school girl ends up falling for this 20-something other woman, and it is a romance. And so it's supposed to be really well done. So what's interesting about this one, though, is it's one of their, I don't know what you want to, a lesser release, I guess. You can see the only special feature that's really on here is a trailer and a TV spot. And so there's that. And the good part, you can see the price kind of reflects that. This is only $24.99. So this one was half of that. So about $12.50 or so, or whatever it is. So this is one of the cheaper ones on Blu-ray. I think there's a handful of these that are at this price as opposed to the full $40. So I figured this would be a good time to grab it. This is one I was just walking through Barnes & Noble looking for one of these other ones I'm going to show here, and I said, you know what? I've been wanting to grab this one, so let's pick it up. I've heard great things. So Blue is the Warmest Color, which is spine number 695 from 2013 is the first one I ended up grabbing. Next up is a horror movie, and I am doing my best to try to collect all of the horror movies in the Criterion Collection, and I'm doing pretty well. I have a couple more of the Japanese titles to grab, but other than that, I'm getting pretty close. So this is spine number 833, and this is Cat People. So Cat People was released in 1942, and it's directed by, as you can see there, Jacques Turner, I believe is how you would say that. So this is another one that I've heard is just a great horror film that holds up today. Much like in my 7 recommendations, I talked about Carnival of Souls. I hear that this is similar and that it does really hold up well. And so I do have the remake for this one that was released on the collector's edition from Scream Factory. I've yet to watch it. I really have been wanting to pick this one up so I can watch the original first and then go ahead and watch the remake, so I will probably do that sometime soon. But this is actually one of the first horror films from Val Lewton, which produced by RKO. And so, yeah, it's supposed to be great. Really excited to watch it. Getting closer and closer to having a complete horror collection, on Blu-ray at least, not the DVDs, that's not what I'm interested in, but a complete horror Blu-ray collection from Criterion. So I think I need, I don't know which ones, but a handful more. So this gets me a step closer to that. So Cat People from 1942, directed by Jacques Turner, and this is spine number 833. I love trying to complete the little collections that are within the Criterion collection. And so that's why I grabbed this one. This is spine number 903 from 1977. This is Jabberwocky, which has one of the best covers in all of the Criterion collection as far as I'm concerned. I love this cover. I think it's beautiful. Ever since I saw the cover, I wanted the movie before I had any idea what it was. But this actually completes my Terry Gilliam collection from Criterion. So there is, I'm not going to remember all of them, but Time Bandits is in there. Brazil is in there, which is one of my favorites. Fisher King is in there. That actually might be all of them, if I'm not mistaken. And then Jabberwocky was the last one I needed to complete that collection. So I now have all of the Terry Gilliam films from Criterion in my physical media collection, which I am very happy about. So yeah, this one is very much supposed to be in the vein of like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, a comedy set in, that kind of era. And so it's supposed to be not quite as good as Monty Python, but, it's really his first, I believe it was his first individual effort, his first feature. So, yeah, very excited to check this one out. I have loved everything I've seen from Terry Gilliam so far, so hopefully I will continue down that path. So, Jabberwocky from Terry Gilliam, released in 1977, spine number 903, and I haven't even been talking about the special features, but there they are in case you're interested in that. So, yeah, another one for the Gilliam collection, which is now I've been able to complete that. So, very happy to add Jabberwocky. I placed my original Amazon order, and then I went in and checked some comments on my recommendation video that I posted, which you can check out. I will try to link that down below. But in there, somebody recommended to me The Virgin Suicides, directed by Sofia Coppola. And so this is from 1999, and it is spine number 920. So I actually added a Sofia Coppola film to my collection recently from, where was it? Dollar General, The Beguiled. So I've not seen it yet, but I've heard great things about her as a director, and so I really wanted to check out some of her work because, frankly, I don't think I've seen any of her work yet. So I've always heard great things about this over the years, and so I figured since it was recommended, I would pick it up. So this one does have a good amount of special features on here, including a 1998 documentary on the making of the film. So yeah, should be pretty interesting for this to watch that. But yeah, this is a kind of a coming of age, is what I understand it to be, but done in, I don't know, maybe a darker way than we would typically see. So yeah, very intrigued to check this one out. And again, it was on recommendation, so thank you. You know who you are, who recommended this to me, so thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. But yeah, very intrigued to check out The Virgin Suicides from 1999, directed by Sofia Coppola, spine number 920. Next up is spine number 967, and this is from 1978. So this is actually a film that I had no idea was directed by one of the more underrated directors out there, in my opinion. This is from Robert Zemeckis, and it is a Steven Spielberg Presents presentation here. This is I Want to Hold Your Hand. So this, like I said, 1978, spine number 967, directed by Robert Zemeckis, who is really one of my favorites when I think about it. Like, the Back to the Future trilogy alone is just excellent. And so I want to give more credit where it's due with Zemeckis. And so I really want to check this one out to see how it is. So yeah, this is supposed to be excellent. Basically, it is when the Beatles were on whatever it was, the Ed Sullivan Show in 1964. It kind of took America by storm. And this is a story of like different people's reactions to that, different teenagers' reactions to it, and how they handled it. So yeah, it's supposed to be a lot of fun and has a really great cover. I heard about this a long time ago in some other pickup video a couple years ago, but I had no idea it was a Zemeckis film at that point. So now that I figured out it was, I had to add it to my collection. So excited to watch this one. I Want to Hold Your Hand from 1978, directed by Robert Zemeckis, spine number 967. Spine number 1007 is one that I have been debating picking up for like the past 2 or 3 different sales. And for whatever reason, I just always end up putting it back. But somebody, I think it was Movie Guy 365, posted that he watched the full like 5 hours or whatever it is that this movie is, 287 minutes long, which is absurd. But he watched the full thing and was really blown away by it. So I figured, you know what? Now's the time to do it. It is supposed to be a sci-fi film. This is Until the End of the World from 1991, directed by Wim Wenders, I believe is how you would say that, because he is German, or maybe Wim Wenders. Correct me down below. You guys are better at that than I am. But yeah, so this is supposed to be kind of the quintessential road movie, but done in an exceptionally long form. And so, I don't know, it just looks really interesting. I love the spine. I think the spine is gorgeous on this one, and the cover is really cool too. So what attracted me to this initially was that it is a sci-fi film, and I have a ton of the Criterion Collection sci-fi films, almost all of them, I think, at this point. So trying to get a full sci-fi collection and a full horror collection. So this gets me another step closer to that. But Wenders is someone who I've heard really great things about. I have a few of his films in my collection, and so I figured this would be another good one to add. So yeah, very intrigued to check this one out at some point, because it is super long, much like Justice League, the Snyder Cut. I will have to set aside some time for it, but hopefully, like that one, even though I plan to watch it in a couple days, I'll hopefully get sucked in enough that I'll just watch the whole thing through. So we will see. Until the End of the World by Wim Wenders from 1991, spine number 1007, a very long, epic sci-fi road movie. Here's the one that I actually went in today and picked up. I was going to grab this one. It was on my wish list, but I decided, no, just hold off. But then Beth from Movie Buff Pains mentioned that it is like one of her new favorite documentaries now. So of course I had to go get it because I'm such a sucker for documentaries. This is one of the newer ones, spine number 1061. This is called Minding the Gap, and it's directed by Bing Liu from, 2018. So this is a newer one. But this is like a skating documentary, but it's supposed to be really well done about the kids it's actually following. It's a lot more about them than it is maybe the skateboarding itself, which I think is really interesting. I love documentaries, and ever since I saw this one was coming out, I knew I had to check it out. So yeah, very intrigued to check this one out. I do like this because it does have a documentary on here. There's like a follow-up documentary on here, or follow-up special feature, which I think is always pretty cool, just to kind of see where the people are now as opposed to, you know, when the film was done. Of course, this was only in 2018, so I don't know how much of an update there's going to be, but either way, I'm excited to have this one. So Minding the Gap, directed by Bing Liu from 2018. And this is spine number 1061. I owe a thank you to Beth from Movie Buff Pains for recommending this one. So excited to add another documentary to the collection. So obviously we're getting to some of the newer releases, and this is one that I've seen everybody picking up. Frankly, I was a little worried I wouldn't be able to find it because it is one of the newer ones, but it was there with no problem on Amazon. This is from 2003, spine number 1073, Memories of Murder from Bong Joon-ho, who of course did Parasite, which admittedly I still have to see. So yeah, this one is a like crime film from what I understand. It looks like something that's right up my alley. The cover is just really cool. I love it. So yeah, this is his second feature from Bong Joon-ho. So it's supposed to be excellent, and I cannot wait to check it out. So you can take a look there at the back, some of the special features on this one. Another reason to pick it up, it's loaded. So yeah, very excited to check out Memories of Murder, directed by Bong Joon-ho from 2003, spine number 1073. And last but not least, one of the ones I was anticipating most because I knew it was out, but I wanted to wait for the sale so to pick it up. This is spine number 1075 from 1982. You probably know what it is. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Another one that I think everybody is picking up just because it's one of the newer ones and it's such a well-known movie. So, of course, I had to grab it. This one is directed by Amy Heckerling, and it just has a really cool cover here, so I love that. You can see the spine, and then you can take a look at the special features on the back there. So, this is another one of those movies that I know I've seen parts of this, but I've never sat down and watched it from beginning to end, and so now I get to correct that because this is just one of those like 80s classics that everyone always talks about. So yeah, very intrigued to check this one out. Oh, and it is a screenplay by Cameron Crowe, of course, kind of the master of the 80s teen comedy. So yeah, this one should be awesome. I did watch a review of this from Ken at Mid-Level Media. He loved it. It was one of his favorite releases of the month. So very excited to check out Fast Times at Ridgemont High from 1982, directed by Amy Heckerling, and this is spine number 1075. So those are all 9 of the releases that I ended up picking up, at least so far, this first weekend here during the 50% off Criterion Collection sale. All right, guys, so there they are, all 9 of them. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Were any of these ones that you grabbed too? I imagine a few of you grabbed those last 2, Memories of Murder and Fast Times at Ridgemont High, just because they're kind of the big popular ones right now because they're the new ones. But I'd love to hear everything else that you guys picked up down below, so please leave me those comments. Give me some recommendations if you think there's anything else that I need. I will mention I do have a full Criterion Collection video. There's actually 2 parts. It's up on the channel here, so check that out if you want to see everything else I have. It is admittedly a little outdated because it's over a year old now, but it's close enough. So check that out if you're interested in seeing everything I have from Criterion. But as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below and maybe consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube. And like I always say, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games, manga, graphic novels. If it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.